Ой, так, было...
Yeah. Yeah.
Ёптать. Ой, блин, я же еще ничего не спиздил тут.
I see you know how. I wouldn't have. With a stick.
The blessings of... Can I ask you a few questions?
It seemed
Did you know, Luke?
a bit of a loss.
Did you notice anything suspicious?
My child.
That's really...
I'm sorry to hear.
Do you know what Luke...
Unfortunately,
What?
I'm bound by.
Vows?
There are
Father,
things.
Так. Сука. Где-то же я... Журнал. О, отлично, я завершил трансляцию. А нет. Так, хорошо. Плюс 3. У него 12. Гондон.
but Lubos is
If people,
worse than...
no one escapes.
Father, Lubos, if I don't...
I would. Suppose we.
All right?
May the Lord watch over you.
Пидор, хоть бы с этим гондоном поучиться фехтовать. Приготовить. Это выбросить, это...
Yeah.
Блять, как, сука. Дай пройти, блядь. Так. Ну вот это точно. Коричневые шоссе. Пока не надо. Легкий доспех пробитый. Прочность 0. А, так, мягкие поножи. Пожалуйста. Тебя снять. Уже выкинуть нахер. Так. Доспех, пожалуйста. Кольцо бланки. А где серебряное кольцо еще? Вот. Туфли, сапоги. Эти выкинуть. Так, наручи. Надеть, выкинуть. Ночная рубашка, выкинуть. Туфли, выкинуть. Так, этих у меня 2 штуки. Если одну надену, вторую выбросить. Так, вот этот грязный сними нахер. Надеть туфли. Перчатки охотника. Красные шоссы 2 штуки. Коричневые нахер тогда. Шляпу пока оставим. Ой, блядь, что еще выкинуть? Факел. Краденых 7 штук. Да? Так. Нахер. Нахер. Все, можно двигаться. Блин, кольчужный кофе так-то... Сколько он весит? 5 килограмм. 5 кг. никто не видит. Сука. Топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ-топ. Блять, как далеко. Гав-гав. Блин, меня это управление вообще, вид этот первого лица раздражает. Просто супер неудобно украсть. Но я там уже крал. Так, это значит все ворованное, сундук. Так, это оставим. Серебряное кольцо тоже нахер, нахер. Друг наемника, вот мой меч, понимаешь? Друг наемник. Это с того типа, которого я в спину отхуярил. Блин, казуалыч, блядь, так это тоже казуальная игра. Просто здесь кнопки не работают. Ты нажимаешь отбить, но он такой, пошел нахуй. Я не буду отбивать. Так. А где... О, бля, вот же еще где скиллы можно прокачивать. Сука. Вот смотри, кровавое письмо могу прокачать. Можешь пойти в город, где убили мамку твою, и там лута много. Так надо в тайминг нажимать. Я нажимаю в тайминг, а в городе, где убили, там только, не знаю, херня всякая. Яблоки и все. А, я ж в сам город не заходил. Точно. Точно. Большой вероятностью вы сможете пустить кровь своему сопернику. Чем сильнее поврежден ваш меч, тем больше вероятность того, что вы отравите своего противника, попав по нему, даже если... Класс. Защита. Для блокирования вашего удара противник использует на 5% больше выносливости. Сокрушитель оружия. Если вы бьете своего противника на клинч, вы повреждаете его оружие на 15 сильнее. Чё, поврежденное оружие наносит на 15% меньше урона, к тому же сильно снижает его цена. Короткий меч, охотничий меч, сабля, длинный меч. Длинный меч, короткий меч. А у меня что? 5. Короткий меч. Пока не буду прокачивать. Так, и все. Там, кстати, я так и не понял. Я посмотрел типа на ютубе, он говорит, что на блок нужно нажимать до того, как появится щит в... Блять. В этой иконке обоссанной появляется зеленый щит, и нужно типа до него нажимать. А как можно до него нажать? Я обычно нажимал, когда вот появляется этот щит, и вроде он отбивал. Но он говорит, что нужно до нажимать, типа, блять, на замахе. Или как это?
I'm sorry, I can't tell you everything.
Подожди, не могу тебе рассказать, но
Maybe
мы
we
можем
can work
что-нибудь
some- but first I like-
придумаем. Бла-бла. Я из
I'm from
Скалицы.
Skalitz.
Oh.
They're dead.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Here, we'll drink to them. It must have been terrible.
It was
так.
terrible. It seemed so pointless. We had no warning. They just appeared and began the slaughter. God knows why. They killed anyone who didn't make it to the shelter of the castle. My parents, my girl, even the Deutsch who was on Sigismund's side. I didn't make it to the castle. I wanted to try and help my parents, but there was nothing I could do. Then I fled to Talmberg with the Cumans on my heels. They almost killed me. They slaughtered people in the surrounding villages. There was a pile of bodies in front of the church in Rovno.
My poor child. May God. And how did you come to get this assignment? I'd have expected Sir
He did, but I found a witness and the trail led here to Ujits, so he sent me here to follow it up.
Ah, well, congratulations.
Так,
It's
в
nice to see
смысле не
someone
надо в
using their
зеленый
head to
щит
find
нажимать?
things out instead of
А что надо в
torture.
зеленый щит
We'll have to drink to that. Now the
Нужно
most
нажимать?
important thing. What actually happened at Noyelf? The good folks hereabout are saying all kinds of terrible things. But I take most of it with...
The rumours aren't exaggerated this time, unfortunately. The Neuhof stud farm was raided by bandits, but they didn't come to pillage or even take the horses. They only wanted to kill. I'm sure they would have killed more, but the bandits quarrelled among themselves and broke off the attack. And judging by what's left of our Lubot,
I see it's every bit as bad as people... Well then, here's to those poor souls who had to...
I've told you all about me. Now it's your turn, Father. I noticed you're pretty handy,
You know what they say. The Lord...
but this is a bit more mysterious.
Let's just say these days...
Well, we've had an agreeable chat, but now let's get down to business. So, about this confessional seal. Do you really want more?
Henry, that's not how it works. If people stop believing in the church because their confessional secrets are betrayed...
I understand, but that means I've reached a dead end. Those cut...
Chin up, lad. I might have a...
What?
If I tell you what Lubos told me, I'd be betraying the confessional secret. But,
Word of honor?
on my soul...
I always wondered about the things a priest tells his congregation.
Well, Ujits is in Prague. It has to be some tongue lashing about the... Especially... Well, I hear he always... I'm thinking...
What, sir, mate?
The preaching, the lament, just like a... They don't know... You want to bap... What if the devil was such money while Look to... Oh, man!
Well,
Oh, the...
I don't doubt.
Let's drink.
Funny. That last bit reminds me.
What do you mean? My situation's completely different. Huth preaches against the... I'm one with them in pop.
Учение магистра Гуса. Что там народ?
Don't you think it's a bit odd?
No,
What do you think?
He certainly... If he got out of...
Where can I find out more?
You like it?
What do the
They like it. In a few years...
Yeah, unless they...
Nonsense.
Thanks for the sermon. It's getting quite...
What do you suppose?
Ah, that sounds like a good plan.
I knew you wouldn't let me down.
Блин, я постоянно с разбитым лицом.
Do wczorajszylne staje brak, już sej moi słaby murzy, nie chciał tych jej kurzy. Daje to jedno, a tacy damy jedno, a może lepszy lubi jako posledni jen. Murky zwaby, panorama stawy, a tak ty falsuny, a posad se mi sen, tak posad se sen, a ty pal jeden. Ukaż kozy, jako wozy, zejdrajem tu są nejden, jak dalej wychne, a chodzi se zje.
Enough of this.
Сука.
Bailiff,
Come over here,
Кайфоломщик.
sit down and have a drink with us.
don't vex me again, Father. It's 3 hours past dusk, and curfew is long gone.
So what?
So, I'll have you all whipped and put in the stocks, and I'll write a letter to the bishop about you, priest.
Well, nothing to worry about then. Everyone knows the only one around here who can ride is me.
Enough! Men, throw them out.
You looking for a fight? Henry, back me up.
Блять, да опять драки. Нет, нет. Твою ж мать, блять. Блять, нет, да иди нахуй. Стоп. Сука. Да я же первый ударил, блядь. Турнир вратая просран.
I'd love to. And Henry too, I'm sure. Right, Henry?
Stop that nonsense, Godwin. Are you out of your mind? What will people say?
They can say what they like. What do I care? What do they do to me? Watch the step, my dear. Careful, you don't hurt yourself.
Godwin,
А я
you're
могу
a
ходить,
buffoon.
господи.
Hey.
Чё, нельзя?
Here we are. Look at this beauty.
We can't do this, can we?
Who says? Get ringing, wench.
Блядь, такие гниды вообще.
This is wonderful.
Понимаю.
Ah, bloody oath.
Блин, мне бы обычные
now,
квесты
my dears.
пройти.
Comes the climax of the evening.
Godwin, you old goat.
Come here.
Кстати, здесь не хватает, типа, крови и извращенки, как в Ведьмаке. Типа, сисек нет, расчлененки нет. А, нет, наебал. Есть, оказывается. Ничего себе. А до этого не было ни разу. Не смотри. Но расчлененки все равно не хватает. Ёб твою мать. Не-не-не, не падай, не падай. Воронг. Что? Бля.
Well, I have to say that was a fine evening.
Ну, про дочку Мельника плюс-минус понятно было. Но мне все равно впадло. Я хочу уже пройти побыстрее основной
Godwin, you
квест,
beast!
основной сюжет,
Get up! Do you hear me?
и больше не возвращаться сюда
Wake
никогда.
up, you drunkards!
Oh, fucking hell.
Where the... Oh, what the... Oh, who the hell are you?
Сука.
Henry. My great friend, Henry. And we have a wonderful time.
Well, you certainly did, you old lecher. Now you better pull yourself together quick. You haven't much time. There's some water and something to eat on the table there, but if I were you, I would move my hairy arse before my flock eats me alive.
Да, это слишком сложно
Step on in
для
my head.
меня.
Oh, my guts. My poor suffering stomach. What was that woman on about? Before my flock eats me alive. I've forgotten something. What have I forgotten?
Where the fuck am I?
What the fuck was it? Mass! Oh shit, I have to say mass. I gotta say mass. You have to help me.
How? You're the priest.
I can't do it in this state. Maybe the liturgy. But I have to give a sermon as well. Oh, this is a disaster. They're gonna excommunicate me.
I'd like to help you, but...
You can. You can do the sermon for me.
What? So, first I investigate a murder no one wants investigated. Then I drunkenly keep the whole town up all night. And now you want me to preach at them from the pulpit? Do you want them to burn us at the stake?
No. No, I've got it. Suppose that Sir Ratzig's protege. You just came from studying in Prague. And you want to share the words of Master Jan Hus, who you recently heard preaching there. Henry, look. From what I remember, we might have overdone it a bit last night. And if the bailiff or someone else complains about me, the bishop's gonna have my guts for garters. So I'd appreciate it. Stop gaping at me like a stuffed squirrel and start helping.
You're mad. You're stark raving mad.
I'm not. It's a perfect plan. It's flawless. Oh. How about this? If you help me with this, I'll tell you who Lubosh's cronies are.
Сука, что за священник?
So all at once the
Don't mock me.
Well,
No, neither can I.
what do you want me to do exactly?
I'll go and start the liturgy. Then I'll introduce you. You give the sermon I told you yesterday in the tavern, and that's that. No need to drag it out. If it turns out well, I'll tell you what I know about Lubosh.
Christ almighty. Fine then. We have a deal.
Wonderful. Let's get to it then.
Дай одежду какую-нибудь проповедника. Сука. Пожрать? Ну, вроде нормально. Ну, наручи можно снять вот так. Сойдет. Репутация понизилась. Чего? Да.
I thought he'd never show up. The swill dog.
Look at him. He can hardly walk after his capers last night.
You were with them, you beast. Just you wait.
Look at him. Mother of God. Any minute now he'll throw up.
So I couldn't sleep a wink last night with all that clamor.
In nomine Patris, et Filii, et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Accepit panem in sanctas at venerabiles a manus suas. Hac facite in meam commemorationem. Brothers and sisters, you may have had the honor of meeting Henry from Skalitz, who is here at the behest of Sir Hanush to investigate that heinous crime at Neuhof. You might not know that Henry recently visited Prague, where, by the grace of God, was able to hear Master Jan Hus from the esteemed Charles University preaching. I've managed to persuade Henry to stand here today in my stead and tell us what he heard. Because,
Вот сука.
as you all probably know, Jan Hus is a very popular preacher in Prague. So, Henry, you may begin.
Now I'm curious which one of them will puke first.
Бля. Уверенно начинаю начать долгую проповедь. Ну, наверное, уверенно надо начать. У меня 7. Блять. Надо было еще что-нибудь надеть, сука.
Brothers and sisters, let me get straight to the point. I'd like to talk about the church and how corrupt it is.
That boy has a cheek.
One should not believe in the church, because the church is not God. God is above all things, and the church is but a means to salvation, which the prelates do not care to hear.
He's right.
It is the corruption of God's pastors here on earth that has brought misfortune on our heads. Plague, enemies, injustice, hunger and chaos, failed harvests, fires, floods and other catastrophes. And it is all due to the corrupt servants of God who do not practice what they preach. They think sins can be washed away by money, and they sell indulgences, and that...
Надо было продолжать
bad.
уверенно.
because sins cannot be redeemed with silver.
Prague didn't do much for his confidence.
And what sins? They live with harlots and keep concubines, even though only marital intercourse for the purpose of procreation is pure. If someone takes a woman or man only to satisfy their own lust, who seduces them to do so but Satan? And how much darker the sin if that man is a servant of the church? Who can turn his face to God, who fornicates and then puts on priestly robes?
Nothing we don't know about already.
Сука.
Enough about sin, which the prelates are so fond of preaching about, and whose absolution they promise if you only pay enough coin to Mother Church. What if the devil himself were to pay? Will the bishops tell us he too would ascend to heaven? And what about those bishops? They sin without remorse, and with the money grasped from the poor for indulgences, they keep fine horses and hordes of servants to pamper them. They play dice and garb their mistresses in expensive furs, while Christ, the Lamb of God, walked barefoot and had nowhere to lay his head. Look to your consciences, you robbers of the poor, for you are seen by God and his people too.
Down with the prelates. Away with them.
We're fortunate to have our good father Godwin. At least he's a fair and simple man.
I say to you, in the words of Jan Hus, he who knows much, let him speak much. He who knows little, let him speak little. Let each speak as much as he knows, and he who knows nothing, let him at least teach his neighbor one virtuous deed by setting him good example and refraining from playing dice and from fornication. And that applies both to priests and to you, brothers and sisters.
That's his conclusion?
That is all I heard in Prague. Amen.
Блядь. Надо было второй вариант.
The lad spoke well, considering what a soak he is.
He's right, that was.
The young man shouldn't drink so much, but the Lord's given him a
I'm
silver
glad he
tongue.
came here. I don't suppose I'll ever get to Prague, and he told it nicely.
Ну, в целом нормально получилось. Неплохо.
Well, well, my boy, you have talent, and I can't deny it. And you pulled a thorn from my side. I almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I noticed. I wasn't the only one.
Oh, what's to be done? I'll make it up somehow.
So, about our bargain.
Although it's a sin.
So's gluttony. And fornication.
God does forgive a penitent.
So, what did Limpy Lubosh tell you? Was he at Neuhof that day? Who was with him? And where are they now?
Now, slow down. I'm sorry, but he didn't tell me that much.
Don't let me down after all I've been through. For you...
Well, now Lubosh came to me shortly after it happened. His conscience was gnawing at him. And I must say, in the end, he turned out to be a better man than he looked. He said they'd been hired through some crony of theirs. And at first they were just to steal some horses. But then it all turned sour and people started getting killed. And neither he nor his cronies wanted anything to do with that. So they fell out from the gang and fled.
Fell out? Yeah, there was a body found in the woods by Neuhof.
That would explain something. Lubosh kept jabbering that he wasn't a murderer, that he didn't want to do it.
So I know that Lubosh killed the murderer and he's dead too. The trouble is, I need to find the ones who are still alive. I need names and places. Did he mention any of the others?
Only nicknames. Talked about some fella called Riki from Ledechko, Pius, Timmy.
Pius. That lot are about as pious as I am ordained.
Nonsense. You would make an excellent priest. And anyhow, with your skills, you ought to be able to sniff out this Riki from Ledechko, right?
Well, we'll have to now. There's not much else to go on. Let's hope he's not hanging from the wall too.
Indeed. And I'd hate to be excommunicated for nothing. Anyhow, Good luck. You watch out for yourself. These people clearly mean business. And I'd like to raise a tankard with you again sometime.
Yeah, I'll try. Although I'm not sure I'd survive another night of your debauchery.
And if anyone should ask, you heard nothing from me. I'll deny everything.
I don't doubt it.
Блин, это прикольный квест был. Но все остальное это просто сраное расследование. Мне приходится гонять из одного города в другой и расспрашивать людей. А я не хочу. Что это было?
Ještě si já pohár vína zaplatím, potom se já...
Прикольно, они, кстати, на каком-то болгарском, я не знаю, разговаривают иногда.
Good fella. That's my boy.
Вот так, вот. Церковь. Так, мягкий коев. 9 брони. Как он может давать 9 брони? Вообще не понимаю. Наручи. Чтоб ты понимал, я большинство из этого просто украл. Отлично. Так, 90 из 104. А чё так много-то? Дай пройти. Как на частной территории? Блин, опять. Стой.
I hope I can be of help to you, knight.
Рыцарь, они называют меня рыцарем.
Farewell.
Потому что я в такой броне, которую я спиздил.
God save.
Have you got a bed for the night?
I suppose I could find something. For how long?
Just the one night.
All right.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. Take care.
Так, шлем слишком грязный. Надо, наверное, его пока что снять. Мягкий коев тоже. Да иди твою мать.
Could do with a bite to eat.
Так. Поговорить можно, пожалуйста?
Huh?
Блять. Выследи Ваню, я должен выследить другого члена шайки, но его парня по кличке Ванючка. Скрывается где-то в ледечку. Где, блять? Ты сука. Ой. Блять, я хотел Е нажать, случайно escape нажал. Меня не обокрали?
Yeah.
Так.
Yeah. Yeah.
Да какие, блять, сука.
Yeah.
Ну, блять, все, нахуй.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ну класс.
Yeah.
А чё, даже ничего нету?
Yeah.
Да твою мать. Ой, не-не-не-не-не, остановись. Ёптать, только бы не умереть, а. Ёпана, а где лошадь? Ебать, я падал, конечно. Блять, как выбраться отсюда? Ну что это такое? Ого.
Yeah. Yeah.
О, это походу опять что-то не то.
Yeah.
Вот и так. А, ты... Закончилась энергия.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Сука, как добраться-то?
Yeah. Yeah.
Так, инспектор и... Это самое. Инспектор.
God be with you.
I'm looking for someone they call Riki.
That's the Tanner's son, Hinek.
Where can I find him?
Hard to say. He's not around here much, thank God for small blessings. You could try his folks' place.
What can you tell me about this Hinek?
What can I tell you? No, he's none too popular.
Why not?
Well, I'm not one to gossip, but I heard he keeps bad.
What's the Tanner like? Hinek's father.
The less I see of him, the better. He's not exact.
Why do they call him?
Why do you think? Because he's a Tanner, of course.
So why don't people like him?
The old Tanner's not an easy man, but a son should never let his father down. Hinek does nothing to help. He's always far too busy with his own affairs, though I wouldn't like...
And does no one at all?
That harlot, Adela, hangs around with him, of course.
Harlot?
She works as a bathhouse wench, same thing. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Свободу. Так, итого, у меня целых 2 точки теперь. Поговорить с шлюхой.
Yeah. Mother of God.
Who is it?
Сука. Умыться. Ты? Надо сохраниться. Найти корчму и сохраниться. Она как раз недалеко. Где вход?
My respects to you.
Can I sleep?
Certainly. For how long?
Just the one.
Sure.
Here you are.
You'll like it here. Like sleeping on it.
Where do I go to?
That's easy. As soon as you go indoors, at the end of the room on the left, there's a door leading to the chamber. Everything's prepared for you there. Take care now.
Сюда? Сюда. Блять, как на облаках, ну отлично.
Damn! A thief! He's stealing here! Guard! Come here quick!
He's thieving? Hey, people! Thief!
Блять. Как она открыла, сука? Боже.
Well, is someone there? What are you up to? Thief!
Все равно ничего интересного там не было, да.
Who are you? What's that? Looking for
Mother
something
of God.
around here?
О боже.
Oh. God be with you. What can I do?
I heard you've been seeing Hinek, the tanner's son.
So what? Come to preach at me, have you? That I'm a loose woman, a sinner, that I seduce decent men?
God, no, nothing like that. It's just that you're the only one in the village who sees Hinek, so I came to ask you about him.
I have seen him often enough. I don't know what I could tell you about him.
Where can I find Hinek?
I haven't seen him in the village for a few days. He must have run off to the woods again.
Does he do that often?
From time to time.
What the hell does he get up to there?
I don't know.
Сука. Звучит похоже на то, что он что-то задумал.
Look, Hinek's my friend, and I really need to know where he is and what he's doing.
But I already told you I don't know where he's got to.
So I suppose he just goes to the woods to pick mushrooms, does he?
Mushrooms? No. More like hares or other game.
So Hinek is a poacher? That's no surprise.
Well, he was never much of one for an honest trade.
Do you know exactly where he goes? Maybe he has some favourite spot he might have told you about?
He said he has some hideout in the woods, but he didn't tell me where.
When did you last see him?
A few days ago. He came to me late in the evening.
And that was unusual.
I never saw him drink much. He always came to me sober.
So he was acting strangely that evening?
He was strange. I had the feeling he was afraid of something. He kept prattling on and didn't seem to care about you know what. So I threw him out and I haven't seen him since.
Кстати, ангел хороший, учись. Где? В этой игре? По игре учить английский. Я ни хера не понимаю. Я знаю, I don't know. What the hell is that? И все, в основном я больше ни хера не понимаю. Что он что-то боялся, он болтал, не заботься, сам знаешь в чем.
Can you remember anything he said that evening?
Oh, I'm not sure. He went on about some fellow called Lubosh who died. That he was regretting he ever got into it, but he never said what it was. And that it wasn't worth it for the money. Aye, and then he was talking about the money. That was very odd.
What did he say about the money?
Just that he had a pile of it hidden behind his house.
I see. What did you say to that?
What could I say? He was drunk. He kept saying I was a fine girl and other harlots wouldn't go with him even for money. And if I wanted, I could even take half the money and leave. Or he'd go with me and we could get married and such. Oh, just poppycock.
Did you go there for a look?
No, I've got better things to do. Obviously he made it up. Where would a
Yes, I understand. Did he tell you exactly where he hid it?
He said he buried it at his father's small holding in the western corner.
All right, thank you.
Ай, блядь.
Is it true?
What?
Other whores wouldn't go with him even...
The other bathhouse girls are honest, so I don't know. The truth is, I felt a bit sorry for him. Folk don't like...
I heard they don't like him because he keeps company with villains.
True enough. But they didn't like him before that either. Or me. Both of us are the black sheep.
There's nothing more between you?
No, nothing. Maybe Hinnick thinks differently.
Так, ладно. Назад еще можно, да.
Take care.
Нужно найти гроши. Найти тайник С.
Can I help? Yow!
Yeah. Yeah.
Стрельбище. Так, где-то там на западном углу, блять. Где запад, блять? Запад.
Who's there? What was that noise? Hey!
Что?
What are you doing here?
Чё
Good day to
докопался?
you. What do you need?
I'm looking for your son. Any idea where he might be?
I don't know.
Don't you at least know where he usually goes?
Hinnick shows up at home once in a blue moon, so I don't know nothing about where he gets to. Even if I did...
Может в этот раз запугать его.
Your son is about to get into deep shit. I'm trying to find him so I can warn him.
That's nothing new. He's always up to his ears in it.
But this time his neck's on the block. He got mixed up with some very dangerous people. I have to find him.
All right. He was here a few days ago, but he left right away.
And you don't know where he went?
I've got an idea,
I don't follow.
Hynek makes some money on the side from poaching. He boasted to me a few times about what a great hideout.
Well, it's not much to go on, but it's better than nothing. Don't you have any clue at all where he's hiding?
I really don't know nothing about that. I could tell when he'd come from there is all.
How's that?
Because every time he brought some hides for tanning and money.
He had money because he sold the stuff right away?
I suppose. He never kept any of his...
Do you know who he sold it to?
No. But the innkeeper came here now and again and gave him coin. Of course, it could have been...
All right. I'll ask at the inn. What more do you know?
Nothing. I swear to God Almighty, I've said all I know.
I know he didn't talk to you about it, but you must have noticed something, right? How much time did he spend away? What was he wearing? How did he look when he came back? Anything?
Well, he came and went at all sorts of hours. I really don't know. Except maybe one thing. He'd come home scratched with brambles and with leaves.
So he probably went through thick woods to get to that place.
I reckon. What do I know? Go.
Ну и всё.
And if he's really in as much shit as you say, please try and find him.
Окей. Так, найди тайник вонючки. Под западным углом дома. Закажи... О, Господи. За западным. Что ты собрал? Ты траву собрал? Запад там. Где, блядь? Блин, что-то же должно намекать. Под западным углом дома.
Who's there?
Who's there? What the fuck is that?
Who's there?
Дела мне рассказала, что у вонючки в тайнике спрятаны гроши, зарыты под западным углом дома за кожевенной мастерской. Кожевенная мастерская. Дом за кожевенной мастерской. Где? Блять, вот как найти, сука? Блин, и когда я успел засрать? Или я еще не засрал, тогда я сниму все. Чтобы не засрать. Вот так вот похожу. Ёб твою мать. Я ищу тайник вонючки. Что у вонючки в тайнике спрятаны гроши, зарыты под западным углом дома за кожевенной мастерской. Внимание! Кожевенная мастерская. Дом за кожевенской мастерской. Вот и указание. Да, вот и указание. Вот где? Мастерская, дом, запад, под западным углом. Сука, где, блядь? Только окопники сраные. Под западным углом. Вот еще один угол. Но нихера нет. Эта псина нихера не умеет искать. Ёб твою мать. Где ты зарыл? Под западным углом. Сука.
Эй, эй.
Так, и все, я нашел. Все, я ухожу. И ты тоже уходи. Сама за. Не дай бог, тут лопата нужна. А, у меня есть лопата. Украсть все. Блин, что-то там немного было, 127. Доспех, что это такое? Прочный комбинезон. Прочность 26. Класс. Поехали. Так, что дальше?
Я.
Чувак.
Good day to you.
I want to ask about the courier's son, Hinek.
But ask someone else. They've nothing to do with Riki. He'd only drive my customers away.
Really? I heard a different story. I heard the two of you do business together.
Who are you, anyway?
A friend of Hinek's. He's gone missing and I need to find him.
I don't know where he is. But if you find the bastard, tell him he still owes me some goods.
У меня нет времени.
I don't give a damn what deals you've been doing together. I won't tell anyone. I just need to know where Riki is. It's urgent.
What have our deals got to do with where he disappeared to?
More than you think. It's likely Riki is hiding out at his poaching lair. And believe me, it wasn't hard to find out who was buying game from him, and it's even easier to go to the castle and tell them. Poaching's a crime, after all.
All right, all right. But give me your word of honor you won't tell anyone about our deal.
You have my word.
Fine. So, what do you want to know?
Сколько...
I hear Hinek has a hideout in the woods he uses for hunting game. Do you know where it is?
Not exactly. That is... I don't know where it is at all.
But?
But I happen to know it's a dark place. A cave or an old mine shaft.
How do you know that?
Whenever Riki was going poaching, he always came to me first for candles and lamp oil. He brought the game skinned and gutted, so we had to have a light for that.
Coming?
How much game did he bring you?
Not much, a few pieces. There's no great demand here. Sometimes the gentry hears something, otherwise it ends up in sausages.
And do you know of any mine shafts nearby?
There's a few of them around. There's one on the opposite bank, a short way off the path leading from the forge to the west. Then there's a mine gallery to the east of the village, up in the woods above the cliffs. And I heard there's one shaft on the headland close to the water.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Watch you don't break your neck, though. It's rough ground, and you could easily fall down a shaft. May the Lord watch over you.
Понятно. Да, блядь. Так, ну и все на сегодня. Спасибо, что смотрел. До свидания.